Welcome to the Frontier Forward Asia edition. I'm thrilled to bring you this special series where we spotlight incredible leaders, bold ideas, breakthrough innovations, and collaborative spirit that drives transformation in this dynamic region. Let's create and lead the AI frontier together.
Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us today. It's my pleasure to welcome KB today, as she likes to be called. It's great to have you here with us today, KB. Could you maybe start by briefly telling us what your role is at EY?
Thanks for having me. I am the Regional EY Chief Technology and Innovation Officer for Oceania. And so I work with our internal teams and our clients on how technology, data, and AI can solve real business problems. And how do we actually make that into meaningful change across organisations.
And maybe you could share a little bit on what your organisation does and maybe which markets you serve.
EY works across all sectors across Australia and New Zealand and really about helping organisations solve complex problems and helps them create long-term value. We also have treated ourselves as client zero for AI. What that means is that we use it on our own business first, learning what makes it work in practice, and then taking those lessons to our clients.
Yeah, I love that. Maybe, KB, you could share a story of a recent example of something that's impactful, maybe a customer win or transformation that was built on top of, say, Microsoft Cloud.
It's been nice to see the accelerated adoption of AI across Australia and New Zealand with our clients. I think a recent example that really stands out to me stood out for a couple of reasons. One was it was the combination of leadership support and the fact that they had really clear use cases and were focused on people's training, so people's literacy as the secret sauce to unlock the adoption momentum required to make their AI strategy successful. The biggest barrier that we're seeing is that alignment from the organisational strategy down to people's purpose in their day-to-day role. And people have very different understandings of what AI does and how to use it safely. And so with this client, we designed our EY AI Academy that we have used internally for them. So we helped them close the knowledge gap with practical learning, prompt guides, hackathons, and adoption dashboards and new rituals in their organisation to help them move faster with their AI confidence. With this particular organisation I'm thinking of, 3,600 people adopted AI. They completed successfully the EY AI Academy training, and their confidence in using AI for their day-to-day work increased from 2.6 out of 5 to 3.9 out of 5. So you can make material difference by giving people the time and the skills and investment in their training to make them feel confident about using AI.
Yeah, I love that. And it is a confidence thing. But I'm sure that along the way you faced some challenges. How did you maybe face some of those challenges leveraging the Microsoft technology?
The overarching challenge for almost everyone on their AI adoption journey is pace and balancing pace with expectation and safety. Australia has been an early pilot region for many large organisations. We find ourselves working at the very cutting edge of Microsoft's technology and the adoption. We've seen some wonderful frontier firms in Oceania. I think the secret sauce is to actually be really clear about what is the agenda and having a transparent strategy. So everyone knows the plan, everyone knows the resourcing and the level of support required to upskill people. And if you can create that alignment and clarity across the organisation, but also with Microsoft, the ability to close that gap on pace expectations and doing it safely so that people could do it with confidence is really important.
Yeah, that trust and confidence is something that I think we do need to lean into, and Microsoft's definitely here along with EY to help our customers together. I'm sure there's a lot of best practices or advice you could share. Maybe I could ask you just to share a couple of those best practices with Microsoft that you've picked up.
I think treating it like a partnership and that it's a people transformation versus a technology deployment is really important. I think a lot of the missteps we're seeing is people treating it like every other tech rollout they've done, when this is a mindset skill set and tool set shift. It also is important to collaborate. I think regional collaboration matters because the challenges that we're seeing here in terms of guardrails and regulation and transparency reporting are going to be different to other countries around the world. And so staying close to your regional partner is important because you're going through those choices together at the same time often. I also think it's really important to create a culture of excitement where people feel empowered to share what's working and also what's not working. It's expected to be messy and it's expected to be celebrated, both the wins and the losses with AI, because that's how we build better skills and better capability. For us, we used a campaign called #PassThePrompt, where we saw hundreds of thousands of our people using the hashtag weekly, sharing their favourite prompt. And so very quickly, the best prompts went viral across the organisation. So I'm a huge fan of creating those culture building moments.
I love that. Pass the prompt. Okay, challenge accepted. We need to do more of that, certainly in my team here in ANZ. Thank you for sharing that. Maybe what's one thing that you'd like to leave us with? Any kind of thoughts?
AI has moved beyond the hype cycles and it's beyond the experiments. It's really becoming a part of everyday work. It's really clear that the value only comes from people's ability to use it well. And I talk about this phenomena of people using their old search habits. You know, you'd type into Google to look for something and you'd maybe write 1 or 2 words and then it prompts and try and completes the search for you and then off it goes. The real value of working with AI is high context, high quality prompting, and really taking the time to master that skill. And you're going to be really underwhelmed if you're still treating it like a search engine. AI is so much more than that. So I encourage you to practice talking with AI, practice with scheduling prompts, practice with building agents that can produce the report that you used to manually produce, every week. There is so much more potential with AI. And I find a lot of organizations are stopping at we've rolled out the license. And people are summarising their meetings and searching with it, but they haven't really gone on to AI managed workloads or AI orchestrated workloads. But there's so much more upside. So keep exploring and creating with it.
Yeah, thank you so much. I love that. And I think talking and using voice prompts is something that I hadn't explored until I joined Microsoft a few months ago. So there's so many different ways to engage and interact with the tools. So there's so much great insights that you've shared. I want to thank you so much for joining us today and wish our continued partnership with EY all the best for the future. Thanks so much, KB.
Thank you for having me.